My name is Rehema Mavura. I'm going to talk about TexProtects, the Texas Association for the Protection of Children. The interview is about goal-based evaluation and foundational about the program of TexProtects. The information was recorded in October 21st, 2014 at 10 a.m. in Dallas, Texas office with Ms. Kim Horner, the Director of Communication and Outreach. The history of TexProtects. It was founded in April 2004, and the founder, her name is Madeline McClure. She founded TexProtects to prevent child abuse in Texas. They are 501c3 organization, and also they were invited to testify to the Congress on the Protect Our Kids Act, which passed both chambers and was signed by President Obama. One of the idea suggestions was to adapt by Texas Senate, and they were invited as experts to testify on crucial child protection issues such as CPS, case workers recruitment, and retention efforts, foster runaway youth, also their link to child abuse and neglect. TexProtects found out that Dallas was experiencing the highest turnover rate of caseworkers in the state, 46%, resulting in poor outcomes for the children, including an increase in child deaths. They are independent and the only member-driven agency in Texas to take a comprehensive approach to child abuse prevention and apply it to the statewide advocacy and education efforts. Dallas Commission members soon realized that CPS problems were also issues statewide. TexProtects mission. It was fall of 2012. They organized the Texas Home Visiting Group, which represent the evidence-based and promising home visiting programs throughout the state of Texas. The mission of these groups is to bring together Texas home visitation programs, also to increase the awareness of the home visitation in Texas. The current home visitation program models that are members of the home visitations are home instruction of parents of preschool youngsters, healthy families, healthy starts, nurses family partnership, parents as teachers, positive parenting programs. Their vision is to reduce and prevent child abuse and neglect through research, education, and different assistance. They effect change by organizing and educating their members to advocate for the increased investment in evidence-based child abuse prevention programs, CPS reforms, and treatment programs to heal the abuse victims. They have a logic module, situational. In Texas, more than 3 children died from abuse or neglect. On average of every week, 182 children are confirmed victims daily, and more than 7 children are maltreated every hour. On their inputs, they have staff, foster parents, volunteers, and their time, their money. Meanwhile, they have activities like fundraising, roundtable, workshop, and meetings. I was lucky to be part of their fundraising 2 weeks ago here in downtown Dallas, and I learned a lot of things on this fundraising, and I was really happy to learn through this. Meanwhile, they have output of agency and families. They have short terms of knowledge. They have outcomes and long-term conditions on their organization. On their goal-based evaluation, their goal is to reduce and prevent a child abuse and neglect, and also to educate their members and advocates how to have evidence-based child abuse prevention, their program. Their goals and objectives, activities already established for their public policy and committee, which is the heart of where their organization is. Meanwhile, they have a broad-scale systematic changes to improve the Texas child protection judicial system as well. Another goal they have, they want to see the successful of improving of CPS. and they want to see the employee collaboration and have good development on the way they take care of children in all the communities. Meanwhile, they have already exceeded the achievement of their goals status of the programs and increased number of parents who get home visiting. Also, they are funded through the state. At the same time, they have a goal which will be achieved without any issue according to the timeline specific in the program implementation plan. Their personnel have adequate resources to achieve the goals and put more emphasis by timeline in their future by receiving more funding through the resources from different kind of events, raising money by doing different kind of fundraising, private and public donors, also government grants. Meanwhile, the organization already have it is a priority towards meeting their goals. The time I spoke with Ms. Kim, and she told me that they don't have any need to change their timeline because it's already reasonable. According to Ms. Kim, their goals are still adequate to implementing their program since 10 years ago, and they seek more funding for preventing service and to improve CPS. Their future goals will be establishing at the direction of many people who are on the committees, the stakeholders, the public policy committees, home visiting roundtable, or those groups work together to determine their future goals to improve and implementing home visiting services. They also establish the goals and continue to put many people who are working with children and understand the needs of children. The foundation problems and needs. Here in Texas, there is a high rate of child abuse. So TexProtects, they design to make some changes and improve and reform of child protection service, CPS, and increase the money to spend on prevention of the children. They are kind of tackle issues of CPS reforms and to prevent the public awareness and bring collective organizing voice and represent the needs of children at risk and survivors of child abuse and neglect. They also are kind of hiding. They are not public. They are kind of animals and they're independent and non-politicians. They design to educate decision makers and private funders and public at large. At the same time, they have identified and activated the most powerful and effective counties to advocate for changes in this issue, to whom had been missing from advocacy action and survival of child abuse and neglect. The history of the TexProtects Foundation is that they have a portfolio history of evidence based on the home visiting they've been doing on their program, so they're so kind of beneficial to serve the needs of Texas children and families. So they find out that some communities, they may have some high rates of teen pregnancy. They may have a great difficulty of getting their children prepared to in education and have any kind of education. That way they can be out not to commit any kind of problems with the society. Also, they counter that they have different challenges such as maltreatment, depressions, domestic violence, or child disability. As a result, TexProtects was found. So the founder, they decided that to start this organization, that way they can address these different issues and all these unique needs to help the communities in Texas. The specific goals, objectives, and criteria for success of the program for TexProtects. They produced research studies and used it to help educate the public about the needs of changes. Also, their public policy committee is the heart of where the organization launches their ideas and formulated concepts on the broad scale of systematic change needed to improve the Texas child protection and judicial system. Meanwhile, they have ways to bring evidence based on the child abuse prevention program to the scale all the statewide. According to Ms. King, their main goal and objective and criteria for success on their agencies is that for them to get success, for the bill to be passed. That way they can improve CPS. They want to see the increased pay for the CPS employees because they want to see all these employees from CPS, they're happy and success. That way they can do their work to take care of the children without no worry. For example, I'm a foster parent too, and I deal with the CPS workers most of the time. And I can see there are very few, and most of the time their main complaint is that they are very few because they don't pay them well. So I can understand what the meaning of this text protects. Also, they want to see the employees' collaboration and have a good development for the way they take care of the children in all of the community partners and all the stakeholders here in Texas. According to Ms. King, the specific program activity that leads to the elimination of the problem needs foundation, the programs, they have different ways of activities. One of them is the research to follow up the CPS because they don't think that people can fix CPS or make it better if they don't understand how it works. As a result, their research report is very detailed and it has an excellent flowchart which shows how the cases are handled and where they go. Even though CPS are from the government, but still they need someone to remind them sometimes if they are not doing well, what is supposed to be done on the community and to help the children here in Texas. Ms. Kim told me that she is the one actually goes out and do some different activities. She usually goes to conferences and meet different people, putting news on their website or Facebook. Also, she's trying to educate people about their organization of TexProtects. Meanwhile, they have another program activity which eliminates problems and they testify regulations to different groups. They have to go to Austin to do some testifying hearings for every meeting they have to go there to be testified. Their developmental maturity stage, they are 10 years old. And being a new organization for them, and they're trying to move forward and growing as a big organization because before they had only 2 employees in their office and now there are 7 of them. I was there as a volunteer and they don't have that much volunteer. They told me that they usually don't take volunteers because they don't have the space. Their office is very small and it's just like 3 people and other employees, they work at home. So they are looking forward now to grow and have a big office. The time I finished my volunteering time and I was moving to a new building and I hope now they have a great space because they are very busy. All of them, they are very busy on their office. The program linked to other community efforts to eliminate the problem needs. They have different collaborations and they are involved on public policy committees. They work with the representatives of the other organizations to include people from CPA who goes to their meetings and they work together, also come up with different ideas and solutions together. Meanwhile, they work with the non-profit organization who provides home visiting services and they meet together to determine how and what is the best solution to help the children. On the other hand, they work with different groups. Most of the time, for example, the Texas CASA for children, Texas Care for children, Texas Council of Children Welfare Boards, Texas Children Advocacy Center, Children Hospital Association of the Texas, and many other non-profit organizations who help the children and families in need in Texas. Over the last decade, they have a good outcomes to assist and led the passage over 37 bills that have been approved to the CPS system. They have been strong and secure with $71 million for family support home visitation programs, which currently they serve over 19 families across Texas. They collaborate with other organizations and coalitions to advocate for increase of CPS funding and improve the quality in the expansion of the critical services within Texas. TexProtects, they have 7 employees, and Madeline McClure is the Executive Director, Diana Martinez, a Director of Public Policy and Education, Elizabeth Betsy Holland, a Director of Development, Kim Horner, a Director of Communication and Outreach, Sophia Phillips, a Director of Research, Sandra Fernandez, Office Manager, and Dimple Patel, a CPS Research Associate.